This could most likely be the strongest earthquake that residents of New Zealand have felt since 1855. 1855. In 2011, there was a 6.5 quake in Christchurch that took 180 lives plus. This is 178 times stronger. So let's break it down for you. Just after the midnight hour at 12:02 in the darkness of a night, look at this, 7.8 and shallow. Originally thought to be maybe around 12 kilometers, changed to 23, but that makes very little difference. The good news is that, relatively speaking, it's sparsely populated. Again, maybe 3,000 near the epicenter. Christchurch, here it is, just off. You can see down to the southwest. Here is our epicenter. But what I want to point out is, look at all the aftershocks and where their position is. Just like every typhoon or hurricane has different characteristics, earthquakes do too. Depends on the fault line. Depends on the composition of the Earth's crust, how it releases its energy. But again, if you look at this, here's Wellington. As the energy traveled up the coastline, it was felt more so in Wellington than it was in Christchurch, and Christchurch was closer. Good news is, though, the USGS keeps the possible death toll low. We're still waiting on some assessment from the Ministry of Civil Defense, but damage could be very expensive and possibly $1 billion. Most of the homes are not along a beachfront property. They're on higher cliffs. So even with a tsunami at 2.5 meters, at least there was some good news. Now, there was a warning for the entire east coast of the North and South Island. This is history. Back in 7.8 in 2009, but this is the Fiordland area. This is mainly wilderness and wildlife, so no one felt that. Back in 1931, a 7.8, but it was extremely deep, so no one felt that one. But here it is, 1855 was an 8.2. So you can see what we're dealing with here. I want to break this down a little more. 50,000 felt severe shaking. That's more than they felt in some of the Italian earthquakes. Here is the fault line, this white line. Typically, if you have an epicenter on land, it doesn't produce a tsunami. And typically, that energy will follow the fault line. But what we found here is the energy went off toward the northeast. And where you have this bright red is where the significant release of energy was. And because it was offshore, the tsunami warning went in effect. And therefore, you're seeing the aftershocks in this area.